Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Monday afternoon. I hope we're all okay. Hope we're well. Hope we're enjoying the start of our weeks. Obviously, some of you being on the other side of the world are very much well into the start of their week. But for us UKers, or even the people maybe watching this in places like America, obviously we've only just started. So yeah, I hope the week's gonna be treating you well. This is a different style video. Didn't really expect to be speaking about a few players that I will be talking about. So I'm gonna be talking about the Emerson Royal AC Milan front. I'm going to be talking about Johan Bakayoko. I'll be talking about Takefusa Kubo. Potentially a new situation of where Spurs will be focusing in the next sort of week or two. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get into. Just want to say, if you're watching this and you're new, please subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. Morning, Hezekiah. Yes, we're linked to Bakayoko Due and Bakayoko on the wings. Well, we'll talk about that. Morning, Tottenham. Morning, Spurs. Morning, Liam. I'm good, mate. How are you? Morning, John. Morning, Teddy. Morning, Christian. Morning, Eddie's. Morning, morning, Percival, but maybe not as morning for you. There he is, Mr. Callum Roach himself. Hey, mate, you're right. Hey, Alez. Hey, Sonia. Hope you're okay. So, yeah, got plenty of the legends in the chat, or some legend OG levels, some GOAT levels. So plenty of cool people talking in here. Anyway, let's talk about the first thing that I saw. What Lies Beneath has become quite a decent source at the moment. And they come up with a few things. So these are all things that have come from them. So first thing was that Spurs will step up their interest this week. So this week, on the forward line, still waiting for a definite decision, but expected. So when we think about the forward line and the players that Spurs have been linked to, you know, we know about Eze. But Eze, he plays, well, I'm not going to say he plays Wednesday, but he's obviously could potentially be playing on Wednesday for England. You've got Ivan Toney, the exact same thing. You've got Pedro Neto, obviously Portugal lost in their last game, so over the weekend they went out. So again, that could potentially be a situation where that's sped up. Obviously Desiree Doué, Olympics, Bakayoko, he's Belgian, so yeah, they're out. Obviously Kubo, not really international football. Jimenez, Mexico are out. Jonathan David, Canada, I think, got through their last game into the semi-finals of the Copa America. So you can see what I mean. There's a few players that were sort of resurfaced on our attacker interest. And actually, in terms of international commitments, they no longer have them. All right. So that's why I'm thinking, you know, players like Pedro Neto, where we have inquired into the situation, inquired into what the value might be. Well, he's now technically free of football. So there's something to hold on to. Hey, Ashley, you're right. Percival, 9 p.m. here in the gym at home, listening in for some news. Good stuff, Percival, mate. Good stuff. Well, I hope to give you some gym motivation, you know. Make sure you train it. Make sure you train the legs, though, Percival, mate. All right. Hey, Oscar, mate, you're all right. So, yeah, I think this is quite a key thing with the players that obviously have now been removed from international football tournaments this summer. But when we talk about this week, the Euros finishes on Sunday evening. So even if England were to go through, you know, or someone from the Spanish team, you know, I'm not saying we're in for Nico Williams, but if we were, for example, this Sunday, all of that finishes. Regardless if they're through or not, it all finishes regardless, okay? So I think in the next sort of week or two, you're going to see a lot of movement in and around Europe. I mean, there's not been a lot at all, to be honest. You know, Man City have obviously signed. I think they very much sorted Savio out, but that's obviously just moving from one feeder club to the main club. You know, you talk about Arsenal, haven't really done anything. Calafiori, well, Italy went out, so that hence why that deal has actually sped up. You've got Liverpool, haven't really done anything. So you see what I mean? It's not just like Spurs haven't done a lot. It's just football as a whole hasn't done a lot. So there is that. If we don't get Eze, would you take Dani Olmo? I would love Dani Olmo, but I think Dani Olmo winds up at Manchester City, mate. Sumo squats at the moment. Brutal stuff. Hey, Scott, how are you, mate? Hope the week's treating you well. So interesting front on that. Now, moving on to a little bit of Emerson Royal news before I come to Kubo and Bakayoko, because I want to spend a bit more time on those two. Hence why I'm going to leave it for third, if you know what I mean. So again, regarding Emerson, they believe this will get done hopefully sooner rather than dragging through the window, but Spurs won't accept any derisory offers. And as much as I'm sitting here going, it's July 8th, and I was hoping this deal would be done last week. If it requires it to go another week or two, just to make sure that Spurs aren't getting completely mugged off in the deal, then I'm fine with it. You know, the reports of Fulham. Don't know why I just started thinking of Fulham. The reports of AC Milan talking about 10 million for Emerson. He's obviously not worth 10 million. He's worth more than that. So hence why I don't have any issue with Spurs kind of going, well, we'll take an extra couple of weeks on this, because we want to try and get the deal that not only is fair for obviously them, but the deal that we actually want. We don't want to be selling Emerson just for the sake of it. You know, we want to be able to sell him for good money so we can look to reinvest that, you know. So I don't mind it. Yes, it's a bit annoying. Yes, it's dragging on. Yes, it's reaching a point where it's a bit tiring to talk about. And it's probably quite tiring for you guys to listen to. At the same time, it's like, wouldn't it just be best it just ramble on for another couple of weeks, get the deal that we want. Emerson still gets the moves that he wants. We still get, the money that we want. Everyone wins. Just take the extra couple of weeks. I don't mind it. Kubo's unreal. We're going to come to it in a minute, Caleb. What did I miss? Shaquille, dude, you missed nearly 7 minutes. We talked about really what Spurs are looking to do this week. And we just talked about Emerson now. I'm good, Ashley, though. I'm good. It's been a busy morning. Up early, out to the gym, back, do a little bit of work. Need to fix and sort a camera. And hopefully look to sort some stuff for a watch along tomorrow. We're going to be doing a watch along for the other semi-final of the Euros, the French-Spanish game on the second channel. Link is in description below, but if you weren't aware, I'll put it in the comments as well. Give us a subscribe and put your bell notification on for that as well if you want to join us, because that'll be good. Look to do some content on there a lot more this week, so give us a follow. One might think Levy has attachment issues when he drags on outgoing transfers. They take weeks to get done. Well, I think goaltender, a lot of the deals that we're talking about how they are getting a little bit long in the tooth. For me, I think Spurs are. I think all transfers, you have to be aware. It's not like Football Manager, which I have been playing, by the way. I'm into my third season. I'm top of the league. I have just lost to Liverpool, and they were second, so that's not great. With the deals, it's like how they're structured. We talk about Eze's deal. Oh, just get Eze done. Spend the money, Levy. Spend the money. He won't spend 50, nearly 60 million on one player in this window. What I mean by that is obviously you want to stretch that fee out over years to make it work financial fair play wise. So I get why they want to try and get that deal in a way where it helps both teams. Obviously, Palace get a lot up front. They can kind of do a little bit and bob. But yeah, although I'm struggling to see that deal happening at the moment. I can't lie. I think we need to build the base first with some big signings this window and buy rotational players afterwards. Well, that's what I'm thinking. What happens this week? Maybe Pedro Neto is a bit of a marquee signing. Well, if that's the case, obviously he's outside of international football. Maybe that one speeds up. For me, and I've kind of been thinking about it because a few of you have said it. Do Spurs get a striker this year? Or do they take that striker money? Maybe they go and get another a fullback each side, a left and a right back. They position Sonny as a striker again this year with Richarlison. You go and get a top winger instead. And do you work it like that? Build the team. So when, like Arsenal have done it, it's like how Man City did it. It's actually how a lot of the top teams do it. My hair is an absolute state today. Apologies. They build out the team so that when they need to go for the striker, the team is ready. They're just sitting there going, we just need the striker. And I can see that personally. it depends. Obviously, if the deal's there to be made for a striker, it's a reasonable price. Let's say it is Ivan Toney, and the deal there is a lot more reasonably priced. I can see it personally, but I also wouldn't want the situation where we sort of pigeonhole ourselves into we have to get a striker, have to get a striker, have to get a striker, and we kind of go for one that we settle for. Thanks, Aussie Sperm, mate. Appreciate that. I'll let him know that he said happy birthday. Foden played false nine for a whole season. City won the league. Well, they're Ferran Torres playing there for a little while, and Gabby Jesus was playing right wing. That was odd. Can't lie, Rec. I don't know what you're going for there. The fear is that longer it takes to get done, the less interest there'll be from Milan because we know they can get better fullbacks than Emerson for the same money. Well, potentially, but then also £17 million nowadays isn't a lot of money in football. But the striker market is thin, but summer strikers are there with release clauses. Well, next summer you might have a situation where Sesko's on the market. You might have an Appender on the market. There's things that could be had, Striker this window, yep. Or we can wait till next window, get Richie gone, then striker with option. Well, look, for me, I would want to add a striker to Richie. So if you're selling Richie, I want two strikers, which they're not going to do. So hence why I don't see Richarlison being sold this summer unless they get given a crazy offer from Saudi, which I don't think will come anyway. I think they might get an offer or two from Saudi, but I don't think they'll be crazy enough that Spurs actually consider it, Both a striker and a winger for me to cover all bases in the case of injuries, etc. Again, it's a situation where, look, I'd want 10 to 12 players this summer so I can cover all my bases, but it's just not going to happen. It's going to be a situation where Spurs, well, look, let's be realistic. You don't sign 10 to 12 players in the summer. What positions truly do you think, Spurs would have to work on? And that's where you have to think about it. You go, well, Spurs need a backup goalkeeper. They still need a centre-back. They still need a left-back, a right-back, and at least another midfielder, a winger, and a striker. That's minimum. And I've talked about there, goalkeeper, left-back, right-back, centre-back, another midfielder, a winger, and a striker, 7, right? In reality, you're still going to need another winger, another midfielder, and maybe another striker. That's where Spurs are at. So you see what I mean? I think Spurs are looking at it this summer and go, actually, if we can cover as many bases as possible, next summer we do the same thing and then go, bang, right, we're ready. Let's go. The Germans love it. I don't know what they love, mate. Appender is available next summer, 65 million. Well, what happens with Leipzig next summer with Appender and Sesko, we'll see. Hey, Van Gogh, mate, you're right. Next year, Valise, Lancashire may be ready. Well, there might be a case that one of them might be ready for the bench this year. You never know. Just finished work, Annie. Hope you're good. I'm Dean. I'm great, mate. I'm glad you finished work. I hope it was all right. Hope you can kick your feet up now and relax, mate. We have loads of goalkeepers. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, right now, you would have to sit there and fairly say, we probably could do with a backup goalkeeper. Is that Austin? Is that Whiteman? We'll see. What is the Kubo update? I haven't been there yet, mate. So you haven't missed it. No, Andy, get a striker this window, i.e. Tony. Get Richie gone next window and get a striker then. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying, do Spurs go actually with Sonny, with Sonny and Richie and another young striker, a Scarlett or whoever, right? Is that enough if you were to stack out the wing? You're going to stack out the midfield and stack out the defense. Then the summer after you go and get the striker where maybe the striker market is a bit more favorable. I don't hate the idea. I just don't want to buy a striker for the sake of buying a striker. I want to make sure that we're getting the right guy. I don't want Ivan Toney if it's going to cost upwards of 50 million. I don't. I'd rather them go and get a quality winger. If it was a situation where they go, well, Ivan Toney's going to cost 60 million, or we can get this really, if let's say Pedro Neto was 45 million or 50 million, I might go the Neto route because I think Sonny and Richie's enough for now. I don't think we're winning the league next year. You know what I mean? Top 4, good cut runs, solid in Europa. Summer after, go and get the 9. Go and get the guy. Is it a Sesko? Boom. RB don't have a choice next year. If someone triggers 65 because they can't do anything about it. No, I know. But is a situation where Sesko and him both move on, to my point. We still have Solomon and Hill on the wings. Don't know if they'll be offloaded. Brian Hill most likely will be. We'll see about Solomon. Roman did say months ago that we're linked with Tony. I think every source under the sun has said that we've been linked with Tony. I'd rather a slow burn and just get pure quality. Yeah, I just think we took a big leap last year from where we were before Ange started the season to where we were at the end of that season, right? And, people talk about the cups. I'm not really bothered about them. I was talking about the league run, the style of play, the data system, the higher ups. A lot of things changed last year. If you can kind of go, well, we went from 8th to 5th. That's 3 places. That's a good leap. Chelsea got better this year as well. Don't forget. Because people always go, well, Newcastle fell off a bit. And Man United fell off a little bit. Yeah, but Chelsea were good this year. Villa took another step. There was other teams that did quite well. It's not just that teams struggled and we took effect of it. If you can kind of go, we went from 8th to 5th. If we go from 5th, let's say 5th to 4th, right? Let's say Villa and us were just a switch to give you just to make it a bit easier. And then it goes, right, bang. We had a really solid FA Cup run and really solid EFL Cup run. And let's say we won the Europa. Top 4, win the Europa. Great season. Well done. The players that are going to want to come to Spurs then, the list just gets that little bit longer and the top of that list grows with more and more quality, No, Tony, please. Ange thinks we're winning the league, and Ange we trust, and Ange we trust always. I don't think we are going to win one, but if he thinks so, I'll back him for it. No doubt. I don't get it. How is our budget for some window low when we are the richest club in London? Lol. Why do we do all these constant NFL matches yet we have small budget? We don't have a small budget. We don't have a small budget at all. Technically, the richest club in London probably is Arsenal because of the Cronkies and how much they actually are worth. Doesn't mean he spends the money, but no, the budget's still very solid. Still very solid. But what I'm saying, mate, is you're not going to spend 50, 60 million on 6 players. You're just not going to do that. You've got to take a couple of wins somewhere, Hey, Peter, mate, how are you? How's the day been? Hey, Petrossi, mate, how are you, mate? And Andy Dino. And it would be like Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Andino. Oh, I like that. Andino. Not Andy the Pandy. It's just Andy Pandy, if you're going to give it like that. But I'll have Andino. I want Joe Bellingham to Spurs. Well, we were linked to Joe Bellingham before. I don't think it's something we're on now. I think... Is it Palace? I think it's Palace that are linked with him. I could be wrong there, but I thought it was Palace. Maybe I forgot about it. Not Barry Bannon. Everybody remember it's going to take 5 wins to get till Ange gets what he really wants at Spurs. Yeah, you will think last summer, this January, spin. These now in this season of this summer and this coming January, that's 4 windows. You need at least another summer where you then go, right, he's had 5 windows. He's been able to get rid of a lot of dead wood because even players in that first team squad really are not going to be what we need. And there you go. You're getting rid of all these players. You're bringing these players in. You start to see that regime flip from Poch players, Conte players, Mourinho players, Nuno players to Ange players, And Ange players are different to what those players are like. You can't spend 60 to 70 million on each player when you have like 6, 7. Yeah, you're not going to. Because if you need to buy 6 players this summer and each player is going to cost 50 million, you're spending 300 million. It's not going to happen. Spurs don't do that. And teams don't really do that as a whole, unless they're buying 1 or 2 really big name players. Romana said before that Palace have been linked to Nusa and Joe Bellingham. Well, there you go. Barkane, we haven't sold a player for profit for a year as well. That's also an issue. What? Winks? Got you there, didn't I, Dean? Harry, you got the 2 Harrys. It was only for 10 million, I know, but hey, 45 million plus skip for Eze. See, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know on that, Adiz. Do you watch Henry Wright TV? Not advertising, but he keeps saying the same stuff over and over because that's all that's in the sources. All I'm hearing is Eze and Duo for the past 4 days from sources. I Petrossi, I don't watch any content creators in football. The stuff that I watch is actually nothing to do with football. What you see here is just what's in here, basically. There's more to this world than Eze and Due, though, if you're concerned. Hey, Donna, how are you? Right, moving to Kubo and moving to Bakayoko. So it says Kubo and Bakayoko are other wingers Spurs like. Not seen anything new mentioned on them. So I still think they're part of the list. I always have they're part of the list. But what I would say is Kubo's got that release clause. And Bakayoko, I think, has got a crazy market. I kind of view them a little bit like Nico Williams, where I think Nico Williams is still on the list. I just don't think Spurs are actively going to be looking at that situation. Nor do I think Nico Williams is actually trying to move away from Bilbao. I like both players. I think both players would help us. I just don't think Spurs are going for either of those players, you know? Yo, Andy, how did you get your sources? Came to me in a dream, mate. I got a little picture of Ange on my wall. I just look at him and he's like, Eze. And I go, okay. I'm well. I'm fine, Donna. I'm well. Barca have announced they'll try for Williams. Yeah, with what money? Arsenal have a link with Johan. Well, look, I think the one that you would sit there and say is Liverpool with Bakayoko is the one that I'm going to think about. You know, with obviously Arne Slot now being the Liverpool manager, you can kind of see the tie. And I know he didn't coach him. I'm just saying from the Eredivisie. And he gets enlightened when he drinks that summer fruit squash. That's how he gets his report. It's right here, dude. It's right here. I barely had any. That's how enlightened I've been. It was probably pre-workout from the gym, to be honest. It's the caffeine. No, it didn't, Donna. Not Ron Boyd. Who do you think is getting Due, though? Well, look, I saw that Bayern's name was on the list, but I don't see it being Bayern. Obviously, they are sorting. Well, they've sorted Elise. Paulinho should be sorted soon, and they want to sort Jonathan Tah. Bayern are probably going to have to sell some things in return, so I don't see him going there. Maybe PSG. Obviously, you know, you think he's a Ligue 1 player. But I think they're looking at bigger fish to fry. I saw that they were linked with Joshua Kimmich. So I think that's where the situation is for PSG. I think they're looking at bigger fish to fry at the moment. Who do you think is getting Due? Oh, I've done that one. Does Bakayoko have a right foot, or does he only use his left foot, even though his quality? Well, I hope he has both feet. It'd be harder to play football with only one foot. The squash sauce. Summer fruit squash, baby. It's just summer fruit squash. You get it in your supermarkets. Bayern, PSG, and us looking for Due. Absolutely, PSG want him, but if he's ambitious, he'll come to us. Bold. Ange brings in surprise players that no one mentions. Broich and Borussia at Brisbane Roar, Celtic, Hatate, and Riley, etc. Spurs, the fastest defender in the league. Watch this space. They are coming. Yeah, I think Spurs signed 5 to 6 players this summer. You can probably say maybe Timo Werner's a part of that. Let's hazard a guess that, you know, when they're signing a marquee name, I don't think the marquee name is going to be someone that people don't know about. That's not how marquee names work. I would say 1, maybe 2 that we don't expect. 1 or 2 that we don't expect. I mean, Archie Gray, we've been linked to, so I'd say he's not part of that list. We've been linked to him. I talked about him previous on this channel. Like I said to you, I was out for. I got together with some friends, one of which came down from London, and yeah, I was out drinking with him. I was very upset when it said Brentford were going to sign him. I don't get the Bakayoko hype. I saw him play live once, and he was struggling to dribble past the Azerbaijani defense. Well, I didn't see the game, so hopefully he didn't, because that's not a good sign. How much would Due cost? Well, look, Due is. Well, they talked about it could be reaching sort of mid-40s, somewhere between sort of the 30 mid-40s. I think somewhere in that realm. I know it's a big window of space that we're working in, but somewhere around there. Can we class Timo as a club signing? I see, maybe, but, you know, I mean, Ange was his manager last season. Where am I from, Chelsea? I'm from the moon. I'm from Jupiter. I'm from Mars. or I eat Mars bars. So yes, obviously I'll be talking obviously 7 p.m. today. Transfers talk. We sorting out, if I can get it, a bloody camera. I'll be sorting that out today. As you can tell, it's not very fun. I'm not enjoying it. I'll sort it out today. Looking for a live watch along tomorrow for the football. We're doing that. So join me on the Andy Levy YouTube channel. I'll be looking to do maybe potentially some gaming on there. Either maybe if I can do it today, if not tomorrow, I'll be doing that. All right. And yeah, some good stuff. Summer's fruit squash, nice. On my days, man. Now, what city town is it classified? I can't let everyone know where I am, man. You know, I'm popular. I'm really not. 34 million for a 90-year-old is crazy. Even though Doué is a good player, that's probably half of our budget gone. To be honest. Well, Archie Gray was something similar. He's actually a year younger. If we don't get Eze, I'll be happy with Neto and Doué. Well, Neto and Doué feels like a all right substitute for an Eze. You know. I'll be happy with David this window. Well, I hope more than that. Terrible, Donna. Terrible. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I'll be back at 7 p.m. talking some more Spurs. Enjoy the rest of your afternoons. Enjoy your evenings. And yes, I will see you all then. Take care, everyone. See you later.